Let's talk about the Nelk Boys and having Bibi Netanyahu on the show.
What a bunch of dickheads, dude. What a bunch of dickheads.
I just don't think that they're informed.
I just don't understand, like, I don't want to immediately jump to Nick Fuentes, but this was like the biggest clip that I had watched over it all, where basically they were explaining to Nick why they did it and what Nelk really is, and they had the opportunity to talk to somebody, they're gonna take it, and I don't understand. And now we watched him in real time read like this, just like having the modern day Hitler on, and they kind of go, oh fuck,
the Full Send podcast for me, what it is like it probably peaked in like 2022.
Dude, I can without a doubt tell you that I am aware of like who they are and all that, but I have absolutely zero desire to listen to, to watch any of their videos. Like, it just does not. It's something that resonates with people our age for sure, but not people who are us and in our shoes. Yeah. Especially on the political side of things. Like, I never once look at them talking to OnlyFans models or talking to Bradley Martin or any of these people and go, you know what? I think a perfect person for you to interview is fucking Bibi Netanyahu. Like, that's just insane to me.
I mean, granted, they did have Trump on, and they were one of the first people to have Trump on, and then I think it got taken down. Was that right, that first one?
It got taken down almost immediately, I think.
Yeah, because I remember Steve Will Do It was there, but he was like kind of in the side, and they didn't let him on. Anyway, so the Nelk Boys had Bibi Netanyahu on their show, and it didn't go very well. Public opinion was completely against this episode, and obviously, the Nelk Boys are like these guys in their late 20s, early 30s. They used to do pranks. Everybody remembers the pranks. Then they got the Full Send podcast, and now they seem to be interviewing one of the worst people on the earth, really.
Yeah, and nobody did their I guess studying up.
No,
I mean, when you want to talk about Israel, especially in the age demographic that they are, pandering to and reaching to. Israel's not liked.
No. And if you were wondering if the interview was like groundbreaking at all, or if they asked like hardball questions, well, here's a clip from the interview that the Nelk Boys did with Bibi Netanyahu, and the subject material is just very groundbreaking. Correct. Very interesting.
Correct.
What's your go-to at McDonald's?
No, I'll tell you Burger King.
What's your go-to at McDonald's? What's your go-to at McDonald's? If that doesn't sound like a frat bro question, dude, I don't know what does.
He's sitting across from somebody who is literally committing genocide at this fucking very second.
Killed about 110,000 people, innocents, not even combatants, innocents, and it's what's your go-to at McDonald's?
You fuck with the McRib or what?
We're 3 seconds into the clip, and this is just groundbreaking, astounding information. What a cerebral conversation.
Oh, God.
Let's continue.
We did the double,
Whopper?
I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time.
Burger King kind of sucks.
Yeah.
No,
the BK Lounge can hit.
I disagree completely.
You like Burger King over McDonald's?
Imagine interviewing the most powerful person on the planet, arguably, and you're asking him about fucking McDonald's.
And they go, Burger King kind of sucks. Like, that is a legit.
What?
That is a legit fucking sentence that comes out of his mouth.
We're gonna finish it up.
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's a crazy take.
That's your worst take. Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I think his worst take may have been just eliminating 110,000 people from the face of the earth.
No, dude, it's liking the Whopper over the Big Mac.
I don't know.
Sure.
Ethnic cleansing maybe is like the second, maybe the worst thing.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's neck and neck.
That's crazy.
Neck and neck.
That's crazy. So that was the Nelk Boys interview of Bibi Netanyahu. Obviously, a very hard-hitting question there.
Right.
And the internet came for them.
And did they even touch on Iran at all?
No.
I didn't think so. Because I know that they were talking a lot about Hamas. I know that Hamas was like one of his scapegoats for every answer. Hamas is stealing food and whatever else. But like, you don't even really get into the nitty gritty about what just recently happened. Like, hey, maybe let's corner you. Hey, did you corner the U.S. by bombing Iran and making us enter the war?
Okay, so
the Whopper is fucking mid.
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about is what happened. And people were hold on. Sorry about that. So yeah, what you're saying, he basically blamed Hamas as like the scapegoat for all of his decisions.
Yeah.
And granted, Hamas is not a good, we're not advocating for Hamas. Don't you hate how we have to keep clarifying that? But here is Bibi Netanyahu answering a question about the starving children in Gaza. And listen, for all of the shit that the Nelk Boys were getting, at least they asked him about this question. But like, there's no pushback at all. Here's the clip.
Why do they say Israel's like starving the people of Gaza?
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's ridiculous.
Of course.
And didn't I was trying to do my research real quick because I'm about 90% sure, but didn't Israel prop up Hamas? Mm-hmm. That's what I was.
Bibi Netanyahu was actually instrumental in
that's what
propping up Hamas.
I was trying to get the 100% fact, but yeah.
Let's finish this and then we'll
go
off.
Go ahead.
Takes the good chunk for itself. Then they jack up the prices, and then they sell the food to its population, to its hungry population, if they give them at all. And then use the money that they take from their own people to recruit more killers into their terror machine.
Why did
Do you know how much money Israel gets from our country on average every year?
Like 20 billion?
Well, 4 billion on average, but last year, yes, it was like 20 billion.
Yeah.
They've gotten like 17 billion so far this year.
And we just
it all
signed
goes
one,
to the weapons.
Didn't we just sign one for weapons deals last
Yes,
week?
actually, we signed it was 6 congressmen and congresswomen that were opposed. The rest was,
It was
like
400 and some four, and that's
It was about 420, I think.
Right.
420 to like 6.
Right.
The only
Well, it's time to glaze Nick Fuentes again.
Yeah.
He brought this up, and you don't even have to find the clip on that because I'll spew it. What other issue, especially when it comes to helping Americans, like giving them health care, giving them, any sort of I guess, assistance or anything, it's always split down the middle. Democrats, Republicans, the big, beautiful bill, 50-50. Mm-hmm. Everything is split down the middle, voted on how it should be. But then when it comes to, giving more money to our closest ally in order for them to get weapons deals, we're sitting here and going 400 and whatever to 6.
Yeah. And that's
how
the crazy
asinine
thing.
is that?
That's the crazy thing. I can't find the clip here.
And how can our government officials only agree anything that it has to do with American citizens, they are split because it's either not their side who's proposing the bill or whatever. But as soon as Israel is on the docket, everybody gets their vote.
It's always that. It's always been the case. And it's so crazy, too, because it was a bipartisan amount of people that voted against the bill to provide Israel with $500 million. I believe the number was $5 million, excuse me, for
That's
weapons.
what I thought it was, too.
More weapons. And interestingly enough, it was Marjorie Taylor Greene, it was Thomas Massie, it was Rashida Tlaib, it was Al Green, it was Ilhan Omar, and forgive me, I'm forgetting one more Democrat member of Congress.
You know what we call them? The usual suspects.
Yeah.
The ones that aren't getting money from AIPAC.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Al Green was the guy that always stands up when you have the State of the Union. He's like,
He's a fucking...
he's the congressman from Texas that got thrown out of last time. It is what it is, whatever. But
he's a goon.
You have to respect all those people. Listen, Ilhan Omar married her brother, so we don't usually respect her. But for this, it took a lot of courage. Credit where credit is due. Rashida Tlaib, one of the squad, a libtard you could call her.
Yeah.
Probably called for the COVID. I think she did call for the COVID, the vaccine mandates. But you know what? Credit where credit is due. Now, AOC voted for the $500 million.
Well, she's getting her little grubby hands on.
No, but she always says how she's non-lobbyist funded and
Correct.
always is speaking out against AIPAC and speaking out against Israel.
Correct.
I think she got the call.
Here's what I'm telling you right now. In 4 years, there will be another election. AOC is already in the polls.
Yeah.
She is going to take AIPAC money. Mark my words right now. Clip it. She is going to take AIPAC money. We'll be able to see it in 3 years when she's running.
This is very interesting.
I
Go on.
guarantee
Go
you.
on.
I guarantee. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, in my opinion, in a perfect world, I mean, I really do respect Thomas Massie. And I, quite frankly, I mean, we can go down the rabbit hole of JD Vance and Palantir and all that stuff. I know he's the top
He'll probably get the nod.
Correct. He's currently looking to get the nod for the Republican side in 2028. However, the Palantir thing, everything, he was very suspiciously quiet around the Epstein list when all that was going on. I don't know if you saw the report that he was actually, I forget exactly where he was. I think it was right before that story about Doodlegate broke.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a little bit of shadiness. I think he's a very well-spoken guy, but it's very hard. I mean, and you can go back in history. It's very hard for for any sort of politician to be in the running for the presidential candidacy without taking money from AIPAC.
And speaking of Doodlegate, since you brought it up,
let's
get what a crazy thing this is. I'm trying to find an article here, so forgive me. We're gonna get that article, but it's gonna take a second. What did you think about this whole thing? Do you think it's a scam? Do you think it's legit? This story by the Wall Street Journal. What do you think?
I don't know. Currently, as it stands, I want to say that it's a scam. And I say that very loosely because I know on Twitter, follow me at the Shide. I don't even know what my Twitter handle is actually. I put on Twitter that I think he's on the list. Do I genuinely believe that? I don't know. It's so hard because it's very hard for me to believe that these two larger than life figures with all this money were best friends for a decade. And you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors, no idea that he's a pedophile. And I don't know. I feel like this letter, where did it come from? It just appeared. How is this something that wasn't brought up beforehand or addressed? Now, granted, I don't even think we touched on the Epstein topic so far. Maybe we did a little bit but I can't remember if we did when he snapped at the reporter. Maybe I was here for that. But I don't know, dude. I want Donald Trump to do well, and I'm trying to, put my blinders on when it comes to this, but we can't let child predators go unchecked. So if there genuinely is something going on within our government officials, in fucking little kids, that is a problem. That is such a problem. So for me, it's very hard to put blinders on when Donald Trump looks so guilty.
I mean, here's another one. This is from an hour ago. It says, breaking: CNN publishes photos of Epstein at Trump's wedding in 1993. K-File says the president told him, quote, "You've got to be kidding me," and hung up on him when he called. So, I mean, this is it. This right here is the crux of the photos. Here's the first photo right here that we have, and there's obviously Trump, and here's a couple kids. That's maybe in bad taste it was taken. Nevertheless, here is his boy Epstein. We've never seen these photos before.
Yeah. And what else have
second one here we haven't. Yeah, I know. Well, here's another one. Once again, this is that wedding right there. So this is obviously Epstein, and this is proof that this was his wedding. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Very interesting.
I had no clue that. I've never seen those photos before.
Correct. I mean, again, we know that they were close, so it would really be no surprise to me that there's photos like this that exist. But also, I just we had reports that I believe when they reached out for the jury for the files that they said. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Pam Bondi who said to flag anytime Donald Trump's name was dropped?
I believe so.
I think it was. So
I believe so.
I just, there's so much shadiness that's going on with this dude, and I just wish that this was a topic that was pressed a lot more during the actual candidacy. And I think everybody was able to just put their blinders up and go, oh, the Democrats are running a retard who wants to chop guys' dicks off, or boys' dicks off, and let women play in men's sports, or vice versa. But
it's so indicative, right? Because we saw this huge youth turnout come out for Trump. First time ever, really, that the young generation skewed Republican, at least with men, which is crazy. But here we have from AF Post, we have a CBS News poll shows a 54-point net swing downward in Trump's approval among the 18 to 29-year-olds, shifting from 55% approval and 45% disapproval in February to 28% approval and 72% disapproval in July. Here are those graphics here. We're going to flash them briefly. Right here's the first one. You see what it's based on, the different categories, right? Gender, age, ideology, party ID, race, white by education. and then you continue on over here. You have the second poll, so same thing, and it just showed the shift. This is crazy. You go from 55% and 45% disapproval to 28% and 72% disapproval. This is really, really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
Well, and I mean,
it's going to tank him in the midterms.
Exactly. And you want to talk about that. And I think that I 100% think that it all got started with Iran and Israel, and then all has now led to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a poll here that says in February of 2024, a survey showed Democrats ages 18 to 24 rated Israel at 36 out of 100 on average, while Republicans in the same age group rated it 49 out of 100. Now, that being said, there's another poll. I lost the numbers. However, the Republican side of things has gone way down. I think it was 25 out of 100 now.
Yeah, it's no secret that everybody on the right has been influenced by Nick Fuentes. It's the truth, though.
It really is.
It's no secret
it
that
really is.
All of the young people, especially young right-leaning men,
Yeah.
have been influenced by Nick. And so I wanted to touch back on this when we go back to the Full Send podcast. And specifically what they did after. I smacked my lips. I'm sorry.
You did.
Very sorry I smacked my lips. It's a bad habit I'm trying to eliminate. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But he went on Kick, and he had this stream with the Nelk Boys, and he kind of roasted them a little bit, to be honest with you. He was very critical of the interview that they had, and here's him just telling them why he thinks having Netanyahu on was a really, really bad idea, specifically on Kick on the stream. And I don't even think it was considered an episode. Was it considered a Nelk Boys Full Send episode?
I want to say it was. It was a podcast.
Was it a podcast?
Yeah. I don't think the interview wasn't live streamed.
Interesting. Well, nevertheless, here's that.
At least,
that
yeah,
clip.
I don't think it was.
Here's that clip of Nick telling the Nelk Boys why, like, having Netanyahu on was a really bad decision.
I think this is my, and again, I haven't seen the whole interview, but I think that people are being critical. They see this as like a push by Netanyahu for public relations. He's going to come on your show to try to get all the young, conservative, frat guys, all the masculine men, the manosphere types, streaming types, to get back in the pocket of Israel.
Which, pause that. I mean, that's exactly what I just told you.
Yeah.
Young men ages 18 to 30 rate Israel at a 25 out of 100. So, I mean, with that polling alone,
who happened to lean conservative and lean right.
Exactly. And Democrats were even less in that poll in 2024. So just to get into the mainstream light of this demographic, like, exactly what you're doing.
Exactly.
They see you guys as basically doing PR for Israel, doing damage control for Netanyahu. And I don't think that was maybe your intention. I don't think that's your goal. And I actually agree in principle, you should be able to hear people out. And I think that the reaction sort of vindicates what you're saying, which seems pretty unpopular. I mean, it seems pretty transparent. Netanyahu took the interview for that purpose. Of course. He's not going to take a hard interview with the journalist who's going to push back, who's actually going to interrogate him over the situation over there. He kind of cynically used the platform.
Look at them. Look at Steiny.
He's so retarded,
Look
dude. I can't stand him.
Listen, I was a fan in the past.
I was never.
I was a fan of the Full Send podcast. I was a fan of the Full Send podcast when it was like brand new. When they had who's the guy that was doing the Buffalo Wild Wings commercials?
Oh,
yeah, the red hair, the Boston guy. Bob Menery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When Bob Menery was on in the beginning, the first like 10, 15 episodes, it was a really cool dynamic. Now it feels like it's stale, and it feels like their podcast is like dying off. That's just my perspective. I lost interest. Because what happened was the episodes became like the same thing over and over and over again. It felt like, and the audio was really crappy for my taste. Granted, if you're critical of this, then we're just these are $90 mics. Like, we literally started this from the ground up. We built this shit brick by brick.
You built this shit brick by brick.
We haven't been established for a decade, 15 years. It's not like that. And so it's just interesting. You could tell. I mean, look at them; they don't look qualified.
I mean, I think that's the hill that we're gonna die on here. Is that there's just absolutely zero reason that the Nelk Boys needed to be interviewing Bibi Netanyahu.
Well, it's because they're buddies with Trump, and they even said, like, we're gonna interview one of the most powerful people in the world. We're never gonna turn that opportunity down. But you just didn't do it justice at all.
Right?
It's
like you
not
didn't. You. That's why I say that you had no business doing it. Was because you need to be in touch with what's going on in your demographic and how they feel against Israel and what's going on. And for you to sit there and not even ask about the Iran bombing, like, I just wonder. And also, did you hear them say with Nick that there was like 20 guys in suits in there?
Yeah.
Like CIA, Mossad
Isn't
guys.
That weird?
Oh, it's weird, dude.
The weird thing that you brought up, though, earlier that I want to read back is Steiny, right? Steiny is one of the hosts on the Full Send podcast. Originally got involved with Nelk because he was a videographer, editor for Steve Will Do It, and then he became a regular part of their team. Interestingly enough, his real name, Aaron Steinberg, Steiny of the Nelk Boys, is the son of Harvey Steinberg, a lawyer who defended Ashner Carney, a convicted nuclear weapons smuggler back in 2004. None of this is surprising, is what this tweet says. So how about that?
Dude, I mean...
Is he a plant? Did they just put him there?
I don't know that he's a plant.
I mean,
we're
going down the conspiracy here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's a plant, because if he is a plant, like, he's a really bad one. Like, I've genuinely never understood.
He has his own podcast. It sucks.
I know. I've never understood the hype behind him. I don't even really think there is a hype behind him. Like, I don't.
He's the member of the friend group that they just dog on.
He's a fringe guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who is actually listening to him for insight?
I don't know.
And I do.
Nobody
I will
listens
say,
to the Nelk Boys for insight.
But I will say, like, I feel like if you're gonna judge them, I really do think that Kyle is like the front man, the smarter one. Steiny's just there to kind of be like the back end guy, which is also kind of how I view this podcast, which is like, you're the fucking brainiac and I'm just the one sitting here.
That's not true. You can go off on tangents. You're very intelligent. Don't do that to yourself. I'll
never pat myself on the back. But here's what I will say is that I just don't. I will not understand why they did this. Let me rephrase that, because I do understand why they did it. I will just never sit here and tell you that they were A, qualified, nor B, understanding enough to actually perform this interview.
Yeah, I just don't think it was a good idea at all. And I think with the media backlash that they're getting from the right and the left, even Tucker Carlson, bro.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson.
Of all fucking people.
I'm listening to this on Spotify, and I go in the comments. You can comment on Spotify?
Yeah.
I go in the comments, and Tucker leaves a comment on the Full Send podcast with Netanyahu. Mind you, they're friends with Tucker. They've done interviews with Tucker. Mm-hmm. And he's like, leave it up to the Full Send fellas to give Netanyahu a good interview.
Yeah, I mean, just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I can't talk about him anymore.
Yeah,
I can't talk about him
There's
anymore.
really nothing else to talk about. We pretty much fledged it all out.
Yeah, just about how asinine everything was. I'll talk about that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Hunter Biden resurfaced.
Back in the news, dude.
He